Hey, fine here. So Agile has been very often in the news recently, and there has been several articles even in Forbes talking about how these big tech companies are adopting Agile and how successful they are when they adopt Agile. But on the other hand, we see that there's quite many companies who are not adopting Agile. So today we are going to talk about why does Agile fail? So Agile promotes collaboration within a team and also across different teams. It also promotes that you try to get feedback from your customers as often as possible, and also that you deliver your solutions as soon as they can already start bringing value to your customers. As well, it encourages improving and adapting the way that you work continuously. So it's a continuous learning process. So in a way, everybody should be on board with Agile. So it fundamentally makes sense that you are actually adapting the way that you work, that you collaborate with each other. So today we are going to see the reasons why Agile fails in different companies. So one of the reasons why Agile fails is that teams might just focus on the kind of rituals of Agile, like the daily stand-ups, the planning sessions, the review and reflection meetings, but they don't consider why they are doing this. So you are not doing Agile just because of having certain type of meetings. You are doing Agile because you want to collaborate, that you want to deliver faster. So it has to be something that it's in mind, always in the back of the mind of people, why we are doing Agile. And it's not just because we want to cover the whole day with meetings. Another reason why Agile sometimes fails is the lack of focus. It happens very often when you are in meetings that people start digressing on the topics, that they don't stick to the topic. So if you take a daily stand-up, it's very easy to see how very quickly it can go into the direction that is not serving the purpose that it was supposed to serve, where you are only supposed to talk about what you have been doing, what you're going to do the next day, and what are your impediments. And this doesn't mean that you don't have to talk things with the rest of the team. So if I have an impediment to be able to deliver a business plan, I should make sure that if I need some report from a data scientist, tell that during my impediments. And I might actually agree with this person after the daily that we will actually continue the discussion. But the discussion on how to build the business plan and how to get the report for that business plan doesn't have to happen within the daily. So it's very easy that focus falls apart. And this can happen in basically any of the meetings from Agile. And Agile is trying to concentrate and bring focus to the teams. Another of the potential problems is that we might be talking a lot about what are the benefits of Agile, but we don't go into the practicalities of how to adopt Agile. So telling people that collaborating makes sense doesn't mean that people are going to start collaborating. Telling people that they had to learn doesn't mean necessarily that people are going to learn. You always have to have this person in the company that can facilitate this process, that can facilitate the learning process, that can facilitate the collaboration process. So all these things that Agile is trying to promote are things that you should have somebody within your organization, or several people, obviously, depends on your size, that can actually explain to people how to adopt this, and that these people have their own toolkit to be able to put this collaboration, this learning into actual facts in the company. Agile promotes collaboration. And many times what happens is that there might be some teams that decide to go Agile, but some other teams don't decide to go Agile. There might be that teams decide to go Agile and they decide to collaborate, but they only do this collaboration within their own teams. So working in silos is always a problem, and it's something that it's not what Agile is promoting. Agile is not only promoting a collaboration within your team, but it's also promoting collaboration across different teams. So taking this into practice is key in order to actually make Agile successful in your company. The next one that will cause Agile to fail is when you have teams or people in the organization that think that know everything. People that think that know how they had to work. People that think that there is no better ways of doing their own work. As I said earlier, Agile promotes continuous learning. So when you have people that think that they know how to work, it's very difficult then to change the mind to a more continuous learning way of working. And I don't mean that people don't know how to do their work, but it's obvious that we all can always improve in the ways that we do our work. And this is what Agile is promoting. Another problem that you can find when trying to adopt Agile is trying to push too hard Agile into the organization. Sometimes the organization is not going to be ready for a big change. And from my point of view, I always rather small and incremental changes, which is in a way what Agile is anyhow promoting when you think about continuous delivery. And don't try to do drastic change. Try to make a change that people little by little are able to adapt to the changes that actually Agile is going to mean to their ways of working. There's also the perception when we push too hard Agile is that we think that we are the only ones that know how to work. And in reality, it's not even what Agile is promoting. Again, Agile doesn't tell how to do things, it tells that you have to learn all the time. Sometimes there might be a perception from teams that are not believing or strongly believing in Agile, that Agile is treated as a religion, that is something that really had to believe that it's gonna work. And again, Agile is a journey, it's not a destination, so it's not an absolute truth on its own. And a difficult thing about Agile is that Agile by itself is not an answer. Agile doesn't pretend to be a fixed only way of working. Agile is trying to tell you that you have to continuously learn, that you have to continuously evolve on the ways that you work. Agile is telling you that there's no absolute truth, that our world is changing all the time, that there's evolution, that we have to evolve, that we have to adapt, that we have to learn and improve the ways of working. And that if we don't do this together, collaborating continuously, bringing value all the time, it's never going to work. And we can see it from these big companies, that only these ones that are evolving, that are planning ahead, that are not just reacting, are the ones that are basically not surviving, but the ones that are actually successful companies. Another reason why Santa's Agile fails, it is that the management team in the organization doesn't understand the benefits of Agile or just consider Agile as yet another framework that we could try. Of course, this is pretty similar to the one that we were talking earlier about people failing to understand the benefits of Agile. But of course, if you think about big organizations, not being able to explain the value of Agile to a management team is going to have problems, especially if you try to adapt it in bigger teams or the whole organization. Another of the problems of adopting Agile and why it might fail is procrastinating. So not being able to close projects, basically having a scope creep where your projects are all the time growing, where you don't feel confident that we are ready to release. This is going to be the case quite often when you think about a company changing from releasing once a year, for example, to releasing every other month or every month. It's going to be quite a big change of mentality, and for some people it's going to feel quite uncomfortable that you are releasing so quickly, and they might get the feeling that things are not ready, that we have to test more, that we have to implement more, that we have to build more in the future, because you're changing from long big features to very small concentrated to the point features. So that's something that people are going to have to understand, and again, this is the part of improving and adapting in Agile. And this one might be a little bit of a contradiction, but maybe the best way of adopting Agile is not to talk about Agile, but instead promoting the values of Agile, to promote collaboration, promote continuous delivery, promote learning, adapting, improving, and not so much talking about changing to a certain framework, but changing and improve the ways that we work within the organization. And if you are working in this kind of organization, I'm not saying that talking about Agile is forbidden, but sometimes it's better that you sit down, observe your organization, see where the potential biggest problems are, and how could you start helping tackling them. In most of the cases, even if you have a traditional organization, when you talk about people, about collaborating, about understanding better where is the situation of a certain project, everybody is going to agree that that makes sense, that I am affected about this project, so I would like to know, because this is something that down the road I'm going to have to sell as a salesperson, for example. Try to be able to promote this collaboration. Try to be able to slowly promote certain aspects of Agile, so then you start traveling your journey forward. So if you have stayed all the way here, you probably have noticed that all the things that we are talking about are cultural issues on the organization. As always, changing people's culture and changing people's ways of working is not going to be an easy road. And it's something that is probably best to actually do in increments and not try to do a very big jump. The problem with big jumps is that it's very easy that people drop them. This is like when you go to the gym. If you go to the gym the first time for 2 hours, work yourself really hard, most likely you're going to be with pain for several days after you have gone to the gym. So typically it's better that you try to stick to a schedule where you say that, well, I'm going to be improving little by little. I go the first day and because I haven't done exercise for a couple of years, what I want to do is I want to just start moving. And I want to concentrate only on that, just moving, just flexibility, whatever it is that you're going to do, but adopt the changes slowly. And when you consistently stick to it, it's going to be a much more successful way of adopting potential changes. So why do you think that Agile fails? Do you think that it's a cultural problem, or do you think that there's another reasons why Agile is not going to work in different organizations? How is it that it works in these big tech companies such as Google or Facebook? As always, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe, I like it, and we will see you in the next one. Stay safe.